So I'm here today to talk about optimism bias and how to manage it, looking back at what we've learned since we've had our new impact assessment approach in place. What we've learned is that cognitive biases can affect the way you think in your decision making, and they can affect your appetite to do an impact assessment and your response to it. And those cognitive biases, particularly optimism bias, can be problematic at all stages of a project. The first step is to acknowledge that they exist. So optimism bias causes someone to think they're less likely to experience negative events or consequences, and that can apply to an organisation as well in terms of its culture. So if you suffer from optimism bias, you're more likely to underestimate the time and the cost of something, and you're more likely to overestimate the benefits and the positive impact that the project might achieve. And it can affect your reputation quite significantly. But realistic optimism is really good because it can lead to some visionary, challenging and brave projects that are quite innovative. So we need to find a way of managing optimism bias so that we don't stop people from being optimistic, but just to make sure that we take a fair look at things. So why does optimism bias occur? Well, it could be because you want to gain broader commitment to an idea that might be a bit risky, or you need to secure investment. So you tend to see in those instances an overinflation of positive impact and positive benefits. You know, it could be an overestimation of the impact on the Welsh language, or perhaps underestimating the impact on community cohesion, maybe because you don't really know about the broad range of views on that proposal. It could just be down to your personal position in terms of being a glass half full type of person, or the culture of your organisation, where you might be inclined to surround yourself by like-minded people who get your vision, or you might just think that you've got a really good idea, so you should pursue it anyway. Poor governance can have an impact on enabling optimism bias to creep in, and we'll talk a bit about managing that in a moment. Or sometimes the proposal could just be so complex and you could really not quite be aware of the complexities involved and what that might mean. So the Wells Audit Office says we should be intolerant of optimism bias, and I think that's definitely true. There's a strong track record around of pretty disastrous projects, but realistic optimism can be really beneficial. So it's about figuring out ways to manage it and take a safe line between the two. And we can do this. The Treasury's Green Book for project management includes an uplift for time and cost. So it accounts statistically for underestimating time and cost. There's nothing like that for impact. There is no downlift, as it were. So how can we manage it? Well, in Denbighshire, we want to identify ways to maximise our proposals, to have a positive impact, to think about the broader wellbeing goals in relation to the Future Generations Act. So you really need to be aware of your evidence. This is how we manage optimism bias. What's our evidence? We want people to be themselves and say what they think. So we want a diversity in terms of our governance and our stakeholders. One way we've done that with our senior leadership team is everyone has a different hat. So you can look that up if you like. If you Google 6 hats, I'm sure you're aware of it. Really understand who's likely to be affected by what you're going to do and engage with them so that you can understand their position. Ask yourself, is this fair and open? Is it honest? And if your answer is you're not sure, then you should say you don't really know what the impact is, but you'll go away and find out. And figure out who's got overall responsibility for the impact assessment. An impact assessment should never be about justifying a proposal, so you should always give yourself time to come back to it, re-evaluate it and rebalance it. Something we've tried here in Denbighshire is a pre-mortem. A pre-mortem is where you imagine yourself in the future and you imagine that your project has been a complete failure. This enables you to think about why it's failed, what risks could be mitigated, so that when you actually come to do the project, you don't encounter those problems. It creates a safe space for people to be seen as, for people not to be seen as negative or cynical. It gives you a chance to identify solutions. I think the key message from us in Denbighshire is to create an environment where debate can take place. Have that diversity around the table. Make sure that you involve other partners. I should say special thanks here to Public Health Wales for helping us, both in terms of facilitating impact assessments, but helping us develop our new approach. And allow people to share bad news and to talk about things that people don't necessarily want to talk about. So that's a lightning talk about optimism bias and how we've managed it. If you'd like to find out more about anything I've spoken about, please email me at emma.horan@denbighshire.gov.uk. Diolch yn fawr iawn.